The Forgotten Shoes in a quiet neighborhood of New York City, where traffic roared during the day, but evenings softened into the hum of distant lights, lived a boy named Jacob. He was 15, tall for his age, but his eyes carried the weight of someone much older. Jacob lived with his mother, Maria, in a small apartment on the 5th floor of a crumbling brick building. Life hadn't been kind to them. His father, once a hard-working construction worker, had died in an accident 3 years earlier. Since then, Maria worked long hours cleaning offices just to keep food on the table. But despite the hardships, Jacob carried a dream. He wanted to play basketball for his high school team, not just for fun, but because basketball made him feel alive, was his escape from the heaviness at home. The only problem, he didn't have proper shoes. His sneakers were torn at the sides, the soles nearly coming off. He taped them together before each practice, hoping no one noticed. But kids did notice. Some laughed. Others whispered. Jacob ignored them, focusing on his shots, his dribbles, his determination. The first try when tryouts for the team were announced, Jacob's heart pounded with excitement. He stayed late after school, practicing free throws until the janitor asked him to leave. On the day of tryouts, he wore his taped-up sneakers and his father's old t-shirt. Faded, but still carrying the scent of home. The gym buzzed with energy boys in crisp new shoes, bouncing basketballs, showing off. Jacob swallowed his nerves. Coach Miller, a tall man with sharp eyes, blew his whistle. Line up. Show me what you've got. One by one, the boys played. When it was Jacob's turn, he gave it everything. He dribbled fast, his shots clean, his defense strong. But midway through a run, his shoes split open completely, sending him stumbling. Laughter echoed through the gym. Can't even afford shoes? One boy sneered. Jacob's face burned. He finished the drill, but his confidence cracked along with his shoes. At the end of the day, Coach Miller pulled him aside. You've got heart, Jacob, more than most. But heart doesn't win games alone. You need gear, stability. Come back next year, son. Jacob nodded, fighting back tears. As he walked home, holding his broken sneakers, the city lights blurred through his eyes. The hidden gift that night, Maria found Jacob sitting silently on the bed, the ruined shoes at his feet. Didn't make it, she asked softly. Jacob shook his head. Coach said maybe next year. But Mom, I can't go back there with everyone laughing. Maria's heart broke. She wanted to give him everything, but her paycheck barely covered rent. She touched his shoulder gently. Your father once told me something. Shoes don't make a player. Heart does. Don't forget that. But Jacob couldn't shake the humiliation. For weeks, he avoided the gym. Then, one morning, he woke to find a box at the door. Inside was a pair of nearly new basketball shoes. Not flashy, but sturdy, clean, in his size. There was no note. Jacob looked at his mother, puzzled. Did you? She shook her head, equally surprised. Whoever left them didn't matter. Jacob slipped them on. For the first time, his steps felt light. Second chances, though, the team had already been chosen. Jacob returned to the gym. He practiced alone, day after day. Coach Miller noticed him. Didn't think I'd see you back here, the coach said one evening. Jacob wiped sweat from his forehead. I want to be ready. For next year, the coach studied him. Most kids give up after one failure. You didn't. That's rare. Weeks later, just before a big game, one of the team's players got injured. Coach called Jacob into his office. You've been working hard. Want to suit up as a substitute? Jacob's eyes widened. Me, on the team. Don't make me regret it, Coach said, handing him a jersey. The night of the game, Jacob sat on the bench, nerves twisting his stomach. The crowd roared, the scoreboard flashing. In the third quarter, the coach shouted, Jacob, you're in. Heart racing, Jacob ran onto the court. His hands trembled, but the moment the ball touched his fingers, everything else disappeared. He dribbled, dodged, and shot. The ball swished through the net. The crowd erupted. Each play built his confidence. His teammates, once doubtful, now cheered him on. By the final whistle, Jacob had scored the winning basket. The gym shook with applause. Coach Miller clapped him on the back. "Told you you've got heart." Full circle that night, Jacob placed the borrowed shoes carefully beside his bed. He still didn't know who had given them, but he whispered a quiet thank you. Weeks later, he discovered the truth while helping his mother clean at one of the offices. He noticed Mr. Rodriguez, the janitor from his school, mopping the hallway. Near his cart sat an empty shoebox. Jacob's eyes widened. "It was you." The janitor smiled shyly. "I saw you practicing. Reminded me of my son years ago. Thought you could use them more than me." Jacob's throat tightened. "I don't know how to thank you." "When your dreams," Rodriguez said simply. "That's enough." The moral years later. Jacob became captain of his high school team, then earned a scholarship to college. He never forgot the shoes, the coach who gave him a chance, or the janitor who believed in him. He learned that success isn't built on what we have, but on how much we're willing to keep going even when the world laughs. Because sometimes the smallest act of kindness can change the entire course of a life.